Pricing starting to come out all around the world, starting with Australia from a few weeks ago. I reviewed that already. I'll leave a link in the description below. You guys can check that out later. Australia did see some aggressive price increases from 2025 models to 2026, upwards of around $6,000 difference depending on the trim. However, some models, or one model I should say, actually saw a price decrease. I believe that was the Edge trim or model, but that's kind of irrelevant because Australia doesn't really classify or grade their models like we do here in North America, USA, and Canada. For example, there's no XLE, there's no LE. They have models like Cruiser, Edge, GX, I believe, etc. But our friends just south of the border, United States, did post their official pricing on the 26 Toyota RAV4, and I am absolutely, completely shocked. We're going to talk about what that means in terms of a bunch of things, including getting your hands on a 26 Toyota RAV4, but it's leaving a lot of us pleased and surprised. And I'm not only talking about myself, I'm talking about a lot of content creators around the world, especially this guy here.
Hey Marcello, thanks for having me on your channel. I've got to say, first of all, I'm really happy with the 26 RAV4 pricing for the United States, mostly because take an entry-level LE. If you wanted to get the hybrid last year, that was this price, and it's $950 cheaper to get an entry-level for 2026. So I think that's something that will appeal to a lot of people who don't want to spend a lot of money, but they still want the RAV4 hybrid. You got it there. As far as what vehicles are going to be the most popular, what trims, that's really guessing. I think the sexy ones like the GR Sport, that's going to get a lot of attention and people will sell right out of those. I think the Woodland's going to be extremely popular, but I also think that the main one is going to be the XLE Premium, just because that's a vehicle that has a lot of basic features, but it has a lot of value. So that would be my guess. What do you think is going to happen with Canadian pricing?
Well, Jeff Teague is a really great friend of mine, and I really appreciate him coming on the channel quickly to discuss this topic about pricing and about the general product of the 26 RAV4 as well. I've been getting a lot of questions myself, some of which I will address in this video and future videos. Now, I didn't really think that USA or Canada was really going to follow suit with what happened over in Australia, because it's a totally different market there, different trims, different configurations in general. Yes, the RAV4 looks the same, but it's really not the same in terms of how it's packaged and how it's provided to the consumer. But Canada and USA are usually quite similar, with the slight advantage that the USA has. For example, you can get plug-in hybrid in a few different models that you can't get plug-in hybrid here in Canada. And also USA has front-wheel drive hybrid, which is really cool. Here in Canada, it's only all-wheel drive. But for the most part, everything else is pretty similar in terms of content, in terms of spec. And usually we are pretty in line with each other when it comes to pricing. And I am absolutely floored, taken away, impressed, and pleased, and I know you're going to be as well, with what happened from 25 RAV4 hybrid to 26 RAV4 hybrid pricing over in the USA. For example, the LE all-wheel drive went up only $450 plus taxes. That's insane. There is so much content that has been added as standard equipment on these 26 RAV4s. Arene software, Toyota Safety Sense 4.0. It has a 10.5-inch multimedia screen standard. It has a 12.3-inch wide multi-information display screen. It has a drive recorder. Like, there's just so much that I would have expected the price gap to be at minimum thousands of dollars. But it doesn't stop there. Comparing the XLE all-wheel drive Premium, now in USA there is no XLE hybrid standard. I think you have to get the XLE in a premium package. So if you compare the premium package XLE 25 to the 26, it went up only $250. That's like so minimal. It's insane. Now, if you haven't already done so, please take a moment to subscribe to the ToyotaJeff YouTube channel, and of course, subscribe to the Toyota World YouTube channel as well. I have a personal goal that I'd like to achieve. I'd like to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of this calendar year, and well, time is running out. So in case you're not subscribed, please take a moment to go down and hit that subscribe button. It would really mean a lot to me. Now there's one more model in the sport grade for 26 RAV4 in USA. We don't have this model here in Canada in a hybrid. We have it in a plug-in hybrid, but not the hybrid, and that's the SE. In the USA, the SE RAV hybrid from 25 model to 26 model went up just $555 plus taxes. Insane. This is, I'm just completely taken away here. Seeing as the Toyota RAV4 2026 for the most part, and when I say for the most part, I'm talking about the HEVs, not the plug-in hybrids. Those are built over here in Ontario, Canada. So you would expect the price increase from 25 to 26 to be very similar to what the price increase was or is from 25 to 26 in the USA. And if that's the case, it is going to stir up so much demand. I mean, the 25 current generation Toyota RAV4 hybrid is already the highest demand, fastest selling, fastest moving vehicle that we have in the lineup, whether you're talking about hybrid or even the non-hybrid currently for 2025, is also in incredibly high demand. And having the pricing going up just a few percent from 25 to 26 is only going to amplify and explode the demand on this model and on this vehicle, regardless of the model and trim. So what is that going to mean in terms of getting your hands physically on the new generation 26 Toyota RAV4? Technically, it's still too early for us to tell exactly what the numbers are going to be or what they're going to look like in terms of what we'll be getting for the 26 Toyota RAV4, because technically we're not getting them until early 2026, January or February of next year. So time will tell, but irrelevant of that, there still will be most likely some kind of wait time depending on where you're from and where you're located. Currently, there is a wait time to get yourself into a 2025, whether it's a hybrid or a non-hybrid or a plug-in hybrid, but that window has kind of now closed because we are approaching the end of 2025 and everything is shifting over to 2026 production. So it's a little bit unfair to say exactly what the wait time will be because it's very dependent on what model, what trim, color configuration, if you're going plug-in hybrid, if you're going HEV, and it's very dependent on where you're from and where you're located, what city, what province, what state, what country. So if you have any specific questions about wait times, don't hesitate to leave a question in the comment section below. I'll do my best to get back to you, but do expect some kind of wait time to get your hands physically on a Toyota RAV4 hybrid, and definitely do expect the demand to go through the roof if pricing is only going to increase by a few percent. I mean, technically, even if the pricing does go up higher than what we just saw happen in USA, and it goes up towards what happened in Australia, pricing is demand is still going to be very high in my opinion, because if you look at the competitors, and when I'm talking about the competitors, really I'm referencing and talking about Honda CR-V hybrid. If I'm not mistaken, they still only have 2 models offered in the CR-V hybrid, and both trims, both models start at an MSRP pricing in the high 40s. So to get yourself into a comparable model vehicle, still great value in terms of reliability, maintenance, resale value, all kinds of things, there's not many options out there other than Toyota. And we all know Toyota is the proven benchmark when it comes to hybrid technology and reliability. So the RAV4 is an easy choice, and you will still be able to get into a RAV4 hybrid 2026 for potentially thousands of dollars less than the competition like the Honda CR-V hybrid. Now, as I mentioned, things are a bit different for USA and Canada. For whatever reason, they do not have the XLE standard model. You have to go with an XLE premium. So what does that mean for the United States? I do believe that, the most popular model and trim will probably be the LE, and then possibly the SE, because it's the entry level of the sport grade if you like that sport front fascia and different design, or the XLE premium. But for most consumers, The XLE Premium might be too much in terms of content, and you might not need all that for, the broad spectrum of customers. For us here in Canada, we do luckily still have the XLE entry level and the XLE Premium. And yes, it goes without saying, it goes without a doubt, regardless of what happens with pricing, I do feel that the XLE 2026 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid non-premium will still be the bread and butter benchmark model and trim that everyone's after. Well, everyone, let me know what you really feel and what you think in the comments below for two things. One, what do you think about what's happening with pricing that we're seeing coming out around the world, whether it's in Australia, whether it's in the United States, and what do you think is going to really happen for pricing here in Canada? We're probably next in terms of getting the official price release for pricing on this 26 Toyota RAV4. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel and subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. Take care.